for Sri Lanka. Let's bring in now Shadow Defence Minister Andrew Hastie. Andrew, this news breaking globally, it's a major shock, a devastating event. Your reaction?
Good evening, Sharri. Well, those images were just terrible to watch. And the first thing that came to mind is why is a container ship striking a bridge like that? That's the question that's in everyone's minds. And I just feel terrible for the family. So we're going to receive calls about loved ones lost in that incident. There's going to be a lot of people who've died. You've said 11 million people transit over that bridge every day, even though it was only at 1:30 in the morning. I'm sure we can expect a lot of casualties.
Yeah. We'll keep bringing live news on that as it comes through. Now, Andrew, today the Albanese government rushed through legislation to Parliament that would give it the powers to put non-citizens behind bars if they refuse to cooperate with deportation. This legislation, despite the process, the coalition only found out about it at 7:30 this morning, but is it a good response to the High Court's decision that no one can be indefinitely detained?
Well, Sharri, we'll wait and see. And right now there's a Senate inquiry ongoing into the bill. Senators Michaela Cash and James Paterson are interrogating the bill, asking questions of departmental officials. It's important that we understand it before we vote on it. So that's the process at hand. But it has been rushed. It was very rushed. 7:30 this morning, the senior shadows were called in by the government to be briefed on the bill. They had 20 minutes. And then the government attempted to ram it through the House, which they did. We had the opportunity to speak on it with the crossbench, but certainly there's a lack of transparency here. This is rushed. And I think at the heart of all this is a lack of leadership. In fact, it's bad leadership. The Minister for Immigration, Andrew Giles, has shown incompetence now for the last 6 months. He's unable to impose himself on the situation. And once again, he's passing legislation in a hurried fashion because he can't lead and govern in a prudential way with regards to our borders.
Look, just for another big story globally at the moment, Chinese state hackers have been identified and have been blamed for a serious cyber attack in the UK. Also another one in New Zealand Parliament. In the UK, it was an attack on the electoral roll. 40 million voters said to be potentially affected. Meanwhile, in the Australian government, we've got a very different approach to China at the moment. The UK clearly calling out China. Australia seems to be barely mentioning Albanese and Penny Wong, barely mention in public any of Chinese aggression, interference in our democratic systems. It's a very different approach to the coalition government. Which do you think is the right one?
I think it's important for your viewers to understand the significance of this. The US Electoral Commission, with the data of 40 million voters, was attacked by Advanced Persistent Threat 40, or I think it was 31 actually, which is works for the Chinese Ministry of Security of State. And this is very significant. Also, MPs were surveilled using cyber means. And what have we done about it? Well, we haven't joined with the New Zealand government in making attribution to the Chinese like Prime Minister Christopher Luxon did today, where they went through the details of a 2021 cyber attack on the New Zealand parliamentary services. So just last week, Foreign Minister Wang Yi, the Chinese Foreign Minister, was here in Canberra meeting with the government. We also had Lord Cameron, the UK Foreign Secretary, here in Canberra. And you'd think after having such a close relationship with the UK, being an AUKUS partner with the UK, that we would have joined with the US and New Zealand in condemning these cyber attacks by China, but we haven't. And I think that is very concerning, and that's for the government to explain why they have stepped away when other partners have stepped towards the UK during this time.
All right. Andrew Hastie, thank you so much for your time on this sitting week in Canberra. Really appreciate it.